You don't need a homestead, a hedgerow, or 5 acres to grow your own medicine. All you need is a windowsill, a balcony, or one sunny corner, and about 10 minutes a week. In this video, I'm showing you 9 healing herbs you can grow in containers, exactly how to care for each one, and then turning them into 2 things you'll actually use, a calming bedtime tea and a healing skin balm. Every single herb on this list can live happily in a pot, no yard required. This video is for general wellness info only. If you have a medical condition or symptoms, please consult a healthcare professional. Most grow your own medicine content assumes you've got a big backyard, a hedgerow to forage from, or a rural homestead. If you live in an apartment, a small suburban home, or you're renting with just a balcony, that content usually isn't made for you. Here's the thing though, containers aren't a compromise. For the herbs I'm about to show you, a pot is often better than open ground. You control the soil. You control how much sun they get. And this matters a lot with herbs like mint. You control how much they spread. So let's flip the script. This is a full apothecary, built entirely in containers. Before we get into the herbs themselves, here's what you'll want on hand. You don't need anything fancy, just pots with drainage holes in a few different sizes, a good quality potting mix, and if you can get it, a bit of sand or perlite for the herbs that like drier soil. Most of these herbs can be started from a small nursery plant, which is the fastest way to get growing, or from seed if you want to save money and don't mind waiting a few extra weeks. I'll flag which method I'd recommend as we go through each one. 1. Lemon balm. First up, this has the most citrusy, refreshing smell. Think of the warm towel they hand you at a nice restaurant. That's lemon balm. It's been used for centuries to calm the nervous system, ease stress, and help with insomnia. And it's one of the main ingredients in the bedtime tea I'll show you later. In a container, give it its own pot. It spreads fast, so if you plant it with anything else, it will take over. 2. Lavender. Probably the most iconic calming herb there is. Studies actually back up the old trick of putting dried lavender in a little pouch under your pillow. It genuinely helps with relaxation and sleep. It's also used to ease headaches and reduce anxiety. For containers, lavender wants a terracotta pot, sandy, well-draining soil, and as much full sun as you can give it. Let it dry out between waterings. It hates sitting in wet soil. 3. Chamomile. Chamomile is probably the gentlest herb on this whole list, which makes it a great one to start with if you're new to this. Those little daisy-like flowers have been used for centuries to ease anxiety, calm an upset stomach, and help you sleep. In a pot that's at least 8 inches deep, chamomile is low maintenance and will often self-seed, so once it's established, it tends to come back on its own. 4. Calendula. Calendula, these bright orange flowers are sometimes called poor man's saffron because of their vivid color. This is your skin herb. It's anti-inflammatory and antiseptic, traditionally used for eczema, cuts, burns, and rashes. It grows happily in almost any container with drainage, and if you deadhead the spent flowers regularly, it will keep blooming for months. 5. Peppermint. Peppermint. This one's all about digestion. A lot of cultures serve mint tea after a heavy meal for exactly that reason, and it's also a classic remedy for headaches. It is an aggressive spreader, and if you plant it with other herbs, it will choke them out. Sage is one of those herbs that's both medicine and kitchen staple. A warm sage tea used as a gargle is a traditional remedy for sore throats, and it's also been used for oral health and mild inflammation. It wants a well-draining pot. Terracotta is ideal, and like lavender, let the soil dry out between waterings. Thyme is one of the most forgiving herbs you can grow, which makes it a great first herb if you're worried about killing plants. It's traditionally used for coughs and general respiratory support. In a container, give it a shallow, wide pot with sandy, well-draining soil, and it's genuinely drought-tolerant. Hard to go wrong here. Aloe Vera is your emergency plant. Snap off a leaf and squeeze out the gel, and you've got instant relief for burns, cuts, and skin irritation. It needs cactus or succulent soil, full sun to bright indirect light. And the key with aloe is to let the soil dry out completely between waterings. Overwatering is really the only way to kill this plant. Last one. Echinacea. This is your immune support herb, historically used by indigenous peoples of the Americas long before it became a mainstream cold remedy. Because it has a long taproot, give it a deep container, at least 12 inches, and once it's established, it's genuinely drought tolerant. The purple coneflowers are also a magnet for pollinators if your container lives outside. Before we move on to actually using these herbs, 3 quick mistakes to avoid. 1. No drainage holes. This is the single biggest killer of container herbs. Full stop. If water can't escape, roots rot. 2. Mixing spreaders with everything else. Mint and lemon balm need their own pots, always. And 3. Not enough sun. Most of these herbs, especially lavender, sage, and echinacea, want 6 or more hours of direct sun a day. If your space is shadier, chamomile and lemon balm are more forgiving choices. Once you've harvested and dried your herbs, here's the tea I make with mine. 1 part chamomile as your base, then half a part each of lavender, lemon balm, and peppermint. If you want to make it feel a little more special, a few dried rose petals add color and a subtle floral note. Mix it all in a jar, and you've got a supply that will last for weeks. To brew it, use 1 to 2 tablespoons per cup, steep for 5 to 7 minutes, and drink it about an hour before bed. So that's 9 healing herbs, 1 calming tea, and 1 skin balm, all from containers, 0 backyard required. If you're just starting out, chamomile and thyme are the 2 most forgiving herbs to begin with. Let me know in the comments which herb you're growing first, and if you want, I'll pick 1 lucky commenter to send a jar of this tea blend to. If this was useful, subscribe. I've got a follow-up coming built around herbs specifically for better sleep.